Water has always been essential for life. Its importance is undeniable, especially when it comes to the population of two of the largest countries in the world, China and India. However, with an estimation that their combined populations will exceed a staggering 5 billion by 2030, how can they both ensure access to water without conflict? Today's video will explore this crucial issue and dive deep into the current struggles these countries face regarding widespread water insecurity and implications for world peace. Hello, but before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. Without further ado, let's start. A pair of superpowers. India is not very fond of China's border activities. India will not allow China to exert undue influence. Similar to China, India is powerful and expanding rapidly on the international stage. Now both nations are engaged in a conflict for the most fundamental requirement of humanity: water. China is constructing infrastructure to dry up one of India's main rivers in an effort to halt the nation's growth, whereas India is taking measures to eradicate this threat. All of this is creating tensions between the two nations that could escalate into disastrous wars. These conflicts are becoming so severe that the foundation for a potential war may be forming. A battle that, if not stopped, has the ability to engulf the entire globe and cause a nuclear apocalypse. How did we progress from requiring water to arming rockets? Let's find out. China's water shortage. China is suffering from one of the world's most acute water crises. As droughts increase, water becomes increasingly scarce. Not only the drought has caused this, either. China's massive population and the immense amounts of water required for agricultural, domestic, and industrial use are wreaking havoc on the country. When you consider that practically all of China's population resides in the extremely arid north, but the majority of the country's water resources are located in the south, you can begin to understand why this is a concern. However, the misery does not end there. In addition to its direct use of water, China heavily relies on hydroelectric power to generate electricity. It goes without saying that China has enormous energy demands. You don't become the world's manufacturing epicenter without being dependent on energy, do you? Nations protect their water resources because, well, whoever controls the water controls the nation. This insight is what involves us in the India-China conflict. China's aggressiveness. In a bid to ease its own burden, China is addressing some of its water and energy needs. However, it comes at a price. What is the price, you might ask? Well, the price is paid by India, Bangladesh, and a few other Asian countries. Let me elaborate. The Brahmaputra River is an 1,800-mile-long river that begins in the southwest Tibet region in China and is called Yarlung Tsangpo. From there, it flows into the mountainous, remote northeastern Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh, where it is also known as the Siang. It then falls through the plains of the neighboring state of Assam before emptying into the Bay of Bengal in Bangladesh. The clash. So where does the conflict come into this? China started the development of a hydroelectric dam on the river in an effort to generate electricity. This occurred in the Tibetan county of Jakarta. Now, if China constructed one hydropower plant to provide energy for the roughly 23,000 population, the energy output would be acceptable. It would be more than adequate. However, China has constructed 4 hydropower units in Jakarta to date. Why would China require 4 superstations in a low population density location, all within kilometers of one another? When you consider the fact that these hydroelectric stations are constructed upstream and reduce the water pressure and quantity that eventually flows down to India and Bangladesh, the source of the problem becomes readily apparent. China has constructed unnecessary power plants to power a small town in order to inflict agony on India, or at least that is how it appears. China also planned the construction of new dams, 3 of them, to be exact. You can comprehend India's emotional distress. Needless to say, there is a plethora of evidence that the constructed infrastructure is hurting the lower parts of the Indian River. This is demonstrated by the straightforward fact that Brahmaputra's water levels are falling. India hitting back. Hundreds of millions of farmers and inhabitants who rely on this river will be left in terrible circumstances. Essentially, China's actions constitute a severe penalty for India and Bangladesh. This is something that India would not tolerate. China, and India have experienced conflicts in the past. All prior China-India border disputes demonstrate India's willingness to resort to violence if necessary. In addition to exerting pressure on Beijing, India has begun to investigate constructing a 10-gigawatt hydropower project in a remote eastern state to preserve its own interests. It remains to be seen whether the Brahmaputra will trigger a war between the two nations, but in the interest of peace, we hope that this does not occur. What are your thoughts on China's water crisis as a whole? Please tell us in the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your time. We'll see you later.